Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. As you can see from the title and the thumbnail, today I'll be talking about why I hate my art style. So, you're gonna get a lot of information of why I hate it, why do I have so much resentment about my art style. But before we get into that, I'm gonna go in a little rant about some stuff. So the first thing being my upload. I'm going to try to upload once a week, if not every other week. And I'm doing that because, I can't be uploading every day or every twice a day because I have school and I don't really have much time off. So that's number one. Number two, this video that you're watching right now was supposed to come out last week, but I had problems with the video not sending to my iPad, but I was able to get it done. So luckily we got this video all good. And lastly, I think this is the last one. Don't forget to follow my social media platforms and stuff. I currently have 36 followers and I'm trying to at least get to 50. So that's my goal. I know it's a small goal, but I'm trying to be more realistic here. I'm close to 50 than I am close to 100. So I'm trying to reach to 50 followers on Instagram. So if you like to continue watching my channel and support me, just follow my Instagram. It'll be in the description. You can also follow my TikTok. Don't post there as much, but I have a couple of videos there, and I will update my TikTok. And about this piece that I'm making right now, so it is just 4 random portrait drawings that I found on Pinterest, and I just decided to draw them out. And I had a last minute thought of why don't I just paint them with acrylic paint just for fun. And I'm trying to experiment with my painting style, because sometimes I usually would just paint one color for every skin, the skin tone is just one color with the cheeks just being red. I want to experiment using different colors. Also, it's a nice challenge for me because I'm not going to use any black, so I'll just be making pretty much my own colors without the use of black. And I think it's a really good way to experiment and learn about color theory, in my opinion. It helps a lot, figuring out what colors go together and really how to understand values. Why do I hate my art style? When I was in high school, it was an art school. I had this art teacher. He's very cool. He jokes around a lot. Very good teacher. The thing that kind of made me lose my art style at first, his teaching was more about how to draw the human figure more accurately. And I understand, it's very important to draw humans. I mean, we only did portrait drawings. We never really done a full body drawing, which is another problem of mine, is that we never done a figure drawing. So my anatomy and the body proportions were always bad. They weren't always bad because I would watch YouTube videos of how to do drawings of anatomy and stuff, but in terms of fully getting a grasp, I didn't really have an understanding of anatomy. And my bodies always came out bad, but the faces always came out really good. We mostly focus on trying to get the accurate proportions of the human figure, and it was good because we were learning, yes, but then it was getting to a certain point where we kept doing the same thing over and over. And he would give us the same assignment, draw yourself in this environment, but it has to be a portrait of ourselves. And we couldn't take any pictures because we weren't allowed to have our phones out because he would consider that as a distraction. So we couldn't have reference pictures of ourselves, but he would give us this mirror. We put it in front of us and we'd just draw what we see. And since we can't really turn our head and draw at the same time to get like a different angle, it was always just a front view of the portrait. And, we didn't get much out of it. But, it was also good at the same time because, I learned about the basic proportions of human anatomy. And, even if he gave us like a lot of creative output, like prompts of surround yourself with things that you love and put your face in the middle, or do a picture of an ancestor that you really love and write a story about it, which I really liked that project. But again, it wasn't, we weren't able to do like a side profile or a side view. It was always just a like standard straight face type of thing. And I get that maybe we could have asked, but I doubt he would, allow us to do it because he never taught us how to do a side profile or third, fourth, whatever you call profile. It was just, either just straight on, look ahead profile. And I think, doing a lot of those, it helped me learn how to do realism, but it kind of destroyed my art style as a whole because I just started looking at, proportions more. And, he told us multiple times that no matter how much you draw anime, the media, the art critics out in the world, they will never care about anime. You have to draw realistic because that's the only thing, people will buy. And because he told us that like so many times, like stop drawing anime. Anime is just not that nice. The proportions are really bad. Nobody likes anime anymore. And it's just like that like really ruined the way I see art. And I just started, focusing more on my proportions of the characters I made, and which granted it helped, but then I like started losing the form of my characters as a whole. I sort of took a break from drawing, but it was relaxing from drawing as a whole, but I did end up losing a bit of like knowledge of how to fully draw or how to draw in my own art style again. So that was my first year. First year went well, even though there was a bit of bumps in the road of just drawing the same things over and over. I will say it was a really good year. So here comes my second year, and I'm gonna mix both my 10th grade year and 11th grade year together because that was during COVID and we couldn't do much during COVID. I wasn't in school, I was mostly home, as everybody was. So, my art class during COVID, I have to say it was the worst experience, most stressful experience I ever had in my life. I'll say it was the most depressing 2 years of my life in that art class. So, everything was remote. We weren't able to go outside. So usually in our art class, when it's in person, we will paint in these 18 by 24 paper, and they're really big, and we will work on them like in a week or 2 weeks, 2 weeks maximum. Yeah, he would give us 2 weeks because it's a big paper, and he always told us make sure you fill up the whole page because he doesn't like seeing anything white, which was also a bad thing. I mean, I think it's okay to have white on your paper. You shouldn't necessarily feel the need to have to cover every single corner or crevice. But yeah, we would draw in these big papers. Now that, we're remote, we don't have those big papers. He sent to us these 8 by 11 printer paper sketchbook. And At first, he would give us two weeks to finish a drawing, which was enough time, draw, get it done. Sometimes he will send us, questions, like videos, and we have to answer questions about them, which I didn't mind as well, which was okay. And then for some reason, a few months passed by, and they noticed that a lot of the students weren't doing work. The principal decided it was a good idea to implement that we have assignments due every week now. So no matter what it is, you have an assignment due every single week. You have something to do every single week when it's remote. And, people thinking, oh, it should be fine because it's all just in one computer. You just get all your work done. It's fine for when it's academic lessons. It's not fine when it comes to an art class. And our teacher, decided, since the principal told us that we have to do it, and I understand the teacher has to follow what the principal says, but, it's an art class. We should not be feeling the need to rush with our projects. And so he will start giving us a week to finish an art project. Every week was something new, a new project. And not only that, he started putting both the questionnaire and the artwork assignments on the same week. That was just horrible. So because of that, we were working our butt off for weeks on end. I ended up missing so many assignments and I couldn't finish it. So I just completely stopped drawing for his class. I stopped doing everything in his class that he wanted us to do. And I just focused on, getting my AP classes done, my math, the ELA, all of that. It was stressful. It was not a good experience. And I'll say the worst thing, we would tell him to give us, at least a few times, give us more time to finish, because it's not enough. You're giving us so much work. The work was starting to pile up for me. And he was like, there should be no excuse now because the paper we're working on is way more smaller than what we used to work on. So you guys should be able to finish this in 1 week maximum. And it just did not make sense. I don't think he understands. I shouldn't be rushing through my art. It's something I don't want to be rushing through. I don't want to be feeling like, if I don't finish this in time, then, I'll get a penalty. I'm not doing good. I missed the deadline. So there's that. And, second thing about that was because we were drawing so much and I was at my own house and all the work was piling up, I didn't get time to myself to draw things that I wanted. I had to draw things for him, for the art assignments that I had. I had to finish them all. I did not have any time to finish any of the drawings I wanted to do. Because of that, I ended up losing my art style as a whole. I stopped drawing for so long. Once it was summer, I completely just didn't even bother to touch my sketchbook for those 2 summer breaks that we had. Did not touch my sketchbook at all. Didn't even want to look at it because it was scarring. I was literally tearing up. I was crying in my bed at night because I could not finish the assignments. It was so overwhelming. It was horrible. And, the worst part is we couldn't have creative freedom again. We were just doing, again, the same portraits. This time, I was able to do a few side profiles because we had our phones. And I can easily just take a picture of myself and then, do the reference. Unlike in school where I can't take out my phone. And, I still haven't talked about why I hate my art style, but, this is kind of contributing to it because, I used to have an art style. I'm not saying I never had one or the one I have right now is, I had it forever. I used to have one. Thing is, I lost it because of the amount of things that we had to do. And we had to work on proportions and all of this stuff, and we barely had any creative freedom. So there's that. My senior year, he was teaching the same course. We were taking our AP art studio class, and my prompt was, about how does technology ruin us? That's my topic. And, it started out well, but then again, I asked him, like, can I do it more in a creative cartoon style, like the style I've, used to have, because I was getting it back again. He was like, no, because, the people that are, looking at the art, they're not going to really like that. But then I pointed out, like, well, how come he's able to do it? How come they're able to draw in that, anime style? Well, he literally told me, they just don't know how to draw. And, I just let them do what they want. But you know how to draw, and, it's preferred that you do it the way they want it, which is human proportions, figures, and stuff. That was so unfair to me. It literally destroyed me. And, after that, I just kind of started slowing down with my art again, started hating my art, and then I just completely stopped for like 2 whole months of not doing any of my artwork for that AP class. And then it started to get close to the deadline, so I just started taking pictures and editing random stuff on those pictures, which made no sense. But I literally crammed like 3 pictures in 1 day before the due date, and I don't know how I did it, but they definitely did not turn out well. I did get a good score though. I guess they understood my message. I got a 3, but it didn't count for my college for some reason. So that's the first part of why I went to starting to hate my art style. Mainly because, since I've lost it and, I started getting it back, I started focusing more on my proportions. What do other people might think of this? Will this even be acceptable? Will they even think, oh, this person is doing anime, let's just throw them out because it's not correct. The proportions are just bad. So all of that's just been going through my mind. So I just took another break again during the summer of not drawing. And that it was tough on me because I really love drawing. Just being in that environment just destroyed it completely. Made me more self-conscious of what I'm drawing and what I'm doing as a whole. Right now, I've been doing both digital and traditional artworks. So the art style I have right now, I guess I would consider it as semi-realism, but more in like cartoon style. I just don't really like the way it looks. I don't know. There is something about when I draw the characters or any of my characters, I can't make them have like really good expressions at all. Or when I try drawing the bodies always, they tend to look stiff and don't look correct. And I think it's just because, over the years I was just thinking about, is this correct? Is this wrong? Should this be longer? Should this be shorter? All of that's just been going through my head every time I draw a character or make a piece. And it really just messed up my art style as a whole. And, I think it's possibly the reason why I hate it so much is because I think too much about perfection, and I always try to make things perfect. So when it's time for critiques, I can hear all the good stuff about my artwork. I was always afraid of failing. That's the one thing that I was always afraid of. And everybody's afraid of failure. I mean, it's a it's something that nobody wants to hear. Like, I don't want to hear, like, yeah, this artwork isn't that good, you failed, or, maybe you should just quit art because this is not good art. Things like that. I always was afraid to hear it. So I always try to make my art as good as I can, but then, doing all of that, I end up making my piece look too stiff, and all the values start to mix in with each other, and everything is just one big, and it's sad to me because like when I was younger, I had so much fun drawing, didn't worry about much about my proportions, or at least I knew about proportions, but it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I have to perfect it. If this one eye is lower and the other one is a bit higher, I have to fix it. Things like that, I didn't worry about them when I was younger. Now that, I went through the high school that I went to, it ruined the fun out of art for me, really. And I couldn't get my style back because of just everything that happened. Another thing to point out, so whenever I do my digital work, I guess the style that I make on the digital work, shows more. And sometimes I really like my digital work because it tends to look really good. But for some reason, when I try doing it on my traditional artworks, it just never looks good. And this is why I really just don't like it, because I try replicating it from what I have in the digital to traditional and it never works. Or when I have my artworks from traditional art to the digital art, it never aligns with each other. And maybe that's something a lot of people deal with, but it's visibly noticeable. My final thoughts. Where do I stand with my art style? So, right now, I'm in college. I'm in my second year. College really has helped me, not focus so much on my art style and more on just create whatever you want, and eventually your art style will appear. There was this art teacher who told me, my first year, you don't necessarily have to have an art style. Let the art style come to you. The more you just create, the more you just focus on, your creativity, whatever it is, the art style will just start to pop up. And, that really stuck by me. I took that to heart because I'm really gonna try to, just focus on being more creative again. And I think that's what I'm missing, just the creativity that I've lost when I was in high school. I'm really grateful to being in that college and, just going back to just being creative, having my own ideas, my own prompts, my own creative freedom, really. I'm glad that I don't have to be making art that has to be completely perfect. My art can be of anything. It could just be abstract art and they'll like it. It can be literally anything. And I'm really happy about that. It's like a fresh of breath air, really. So that's where I stand with my art style. I'm slowly, sometimes I feel like I'm close to what I want to achieve, but other times I'm not that close. It's going to take some time for me. I'm still in, I graduated 2 years ago, so it's gonna take a bit, but I'm pretty sure I'll probably find my art style again, and hopefully when I do, I don't end up losing it with stress and stuff. So I have future plans for this channel. I do plan on doing Inktober, but I might just do FNAF Inktober using the prompts from this creator here. They made a list of Five Nights at Freddy's prompts, and the theme has to be a FNAF related stuff, and I'm gonna try to stick by that. I can never finish an Inktober challenge. It's just I guess it's just the prompts. The prompts never really give me much joy. They're never, that interesting. But with these, I find them very interesting. So I'm not sure how I'm going to rearrange the videos. And I am a bit behind. I'm like 4 days behind now with the Inktober stuff. But I will get it done. I am planning on making like a mixture of digital and traditional Inktober stuff. Some of them may have color, which I know, Inktober is not supposed to. It's just supposed to be ink. But I want to add color because why not? It's nice to add color to things. I like coloring again. Yes, I hated it before. Now I like it. But yeah, I am going to do Inktober. FNAF Inktober. I'm not sure how I'm gonna rearrange it. If I should do, this is number 1, this is number 2, but then I'm already late. Or if I should do it a weekly thing. But, I'll figure that out. You'll just see the videos when they come out. That's it. I think that's everything I had to talk about, really. Yeah. If you guys have experienced, things that I went through with an art teacher, or, you're constantly hating your art style and you really want to change it, my advice to you would be, just focus on just creating. Don't focus on your art style that much. Just make whatever it is. It doesn't have to necessarily match what you make like a few weeks ago. Or the humans doesn't even have to be the same, or the characters you made don't have to look the same. As long as, you're just creating, creating things that you love. It should help, and eventually you'll get your art style back, or you'll probably develop a new one or improve on it. So that's my thoughts. That's my advice to you. If any of you guys are struggling, if any of you guys have any advice for me, or advice for anyone really, put it in the comments. Comment down below. Yeah. And before I go, don't forget, follow my Instagram. I'm trying to get a 50 followers on there, even though I don't have that many subscribers on my YouTube. But I mainly want to try to put myself out there, especially on Instagram, because Instagram is very hard to get a following. With YouTube, I understand it. I just have to keep posting videos. But Instagram, I just really hate because of the reels, and I have to post reels, and it's just so annoying. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me, subscribe if you like this. I'm going to try to post more videos often now, and let me know any other video ideas. If you want me to do more of these paint with me videos, I can definitely do them, or I could end up showing you guys my process for an art assignment that I'm doing. So yeah, that was it. That was the whole video. If you really like this video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for stopping by, listening to my rant about why I hate my art style, and I'm glad you hopefully I hope that you found this enjoying, because sometimes I just ramble so much that I don't make sense, and my grammar isn't good as well, so I'm trying my best to speak. I think this is the best I've done compared to my last video, which was a sketchbook tour video. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.